So, it's come to this. I'm asking you for money, and if that isn't entitled enough, for a movie that I've written, intend to direct, shoot, and edit. What could go wrong? I'm asking for $27,500 to film and edit a live-action 90-minute fiction film. If you know me, and I can't imagine why you'd watch this and not know me, then I hope I give the impression of someone who isn't as interested in film genres or film movements as I am interested in film as an art and film as a craft. That's what I'm doing this Kickstarter for. I want to make a film that isn't pretentious, but has meaning, is made with a lot of care, and is hopefully full of tension. I want to make a film that people can watch and enjoy even if they've not been part of the Kickstarter. I don't want to make a film that's a PR exercise for me, or a slightly glossier version of a YouTube video, or an excuse for me to be in the film because I simply must indulge. I want to make a real, if cheaply made, movie. The film is called Collaborator. It follows Anna, a junior intelligence officer working as a specialist interrogator. Anna and her colleagues use a combination of compliance gas, a half semispherical lighting array, and triggers, not to extract confession, but information, mainly from domestic terrorists. But Anna is trapped in a human intelligence unit that's falling apart. The deputy director has designs on the immediate leadership, and the director oscillates between total control and panic. The truth they all know but will not speak: a purge is coming. A purge where anything these people might have done, as intelligence officers or as citizens, could be used to remove them from their jobs or from society. As Anna attempts to navigate the growing paranoia in the unit, she realizes she is already an important part of it. But can she survive? It's a simple story that, if I can make, will be told in a straightforward, non-gimmicky way. With it I want to explore themes of paranoia, surveillance, and the dissonance that bureaucracy creates when it surrounds something as human as incarceration or interrogation. Much of the action takes place on 2 sets, but not to the extent that the film will be noticeably restricted. There are 3 leads, but about a dozen speaking parts and other background parts. I hope, if I can make it, the film's tense. Very tense. That's sort of the most important ingredient. I've done quite a bit of pre-production already, and I'm pretty confident that I can get the shots I want, and I can make the film look oppressive and tense and restrained. But also I think that that sort of stuff doesn't matter anywhere near as much as the story and the script. I think I've got that right. I can't really prove it to you. I know it's subjective, but I think I've got it right. However, I think it would be wrong of me to promise a good film. I definitely want to make a good film, but I am an amateur. A wannabe, really. I do know how to shoot and edit. I wouldn't ask you, my YouTube audience, for the money if I didn't think I could do this. I'm really putting my reputation on the line. I believe in Collaborator, I believe in the story, and I believe in my ability to make it. I used to have this website where I'd upload a few photographs that I'd taken. I used to try and take uncomposed photos of everyday things that sort of looked like random snapshots of a pretty harsh world, and through that website I curated them. The way I would take photos, I would shoot 1,000 photographs in a day, but really I'd only get 2 or 3 good ones from doing that. Really, I could have taken 50 in a day, and I'd probably get the same result. 2 or 3 good ones. I was more interested in the act of photographing than the photograph. It was perhaps more about the therapy of it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all, but I didn't realise why I was doing it like that. I think to be a successful artist, if that isn't too pretentious a word, you need to be self-aware, and I definitely wasn't. But now, I am. So, what do I need 27.5 grand for? Well, I've worked on enough bullshit shoots where they've only paid me in bus fare and cold pasta to know that it's really a good idea to pay your actors and crew. It'll be a small shoot, but a professional one, or at least one where warm pasta is served. Obviously, I'm absorbing quite a bit of cost of labour. I'm going to be the camera operator and the editor, And while I do have quite a bit of kit, including a 4K camera, there is some more kit that I need to buy. However, that's not what this Kickstarter is for. I'm not going to use any of the Kickstarter money to buy camera equipment because, to be honest, I'd buy it anyway. I do need to rent commercial property though, no more than 1,000 square feet, probably not even close to that really, for about 8 weeks, to build the sets and film there. There are two main sets, an office that has a one-way mirror looking into it, and the interrogation room, for which I'll have to build a kind of demi-sphere or half-semi-sphere, or I don't know what exactly to call it, of TV screens, a lighting array. So essentially between paying people, vehicle hire for a few days, and set costs, that's 27.5 grand. There'll be no CGI, I don't have to pay for a crane to film a huge stunt. Not that I'm against those things, but they're not needed here. Frankly, I cut the budget in half when I got rid of Vincent D'Onofrio from Act 2. Obviously, I'm not going to pay myself anything. I'm sure you assume that, I just wanted to explicitly state it. If Collaborator is funded, I'll begin pre-production proper immediately. I'll get the storyboard finished first. It'll be more basic than this, but there will be a panel for every shot. Then I'll begin the casting process and begin location scouting. I'd shoot in about August or September and have a film near completion by the end of the year. One of the rewards on Kickstarter is being part of a focus group, and whilst I can't go back and redo everything if they hate the film, I'm certainly willing to go back and reshoot things if that's the consensus, or if the feedback is telling me that's what I need to do. And if that happens, that'll inevitably delay things. I'm not going to stop doing YouTube, but it's not going to be my focus during certain parts of the production process, and definitely during the month of filming, I probably won't upload anything. I'm not going to flood my YouTube channel with loads of updates about this Kickstarter, but I will mention it at time to time, and who knows, maybe I'll upload some amusing footage of me building a set and cutting off my fingers. That's what you're paying for, really. I think I should say that as of now, I have very few answers concerning distribution. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, as it were. If the film is good enough, I'd certainly like to send it to festivals and maybe even seek online distribution, but it's not something I'm considering too much right now. I think I should worry about making it first. That means I can't offer you a copy of the film for pledging. Distributors and festivals' exclusivity rules makes that impossible to do if I want to consider either of those things. The focus testing reward allows you to watch a stream of the movie that is narratively complete, but is technically unfinished, however. That's really the end of the pitch. There's more on the Kickstarter page about specific risks and specific details about the film, but I know that Kickstarter usually ends with a risk section, and I wanted to say that there is no real risk that I'm not going to make this film. If I didn't get funded here, I'd still make this film, just not for a few years, not until I could scrounge up the money. But I am going to make it, and I am going to try and make it the best film I can. I think the real risk in projects like this isn't in the film getting made or not, I think it's in issues of ego. If I make a film, really good or not, then I stand to gain from that. It'll be a lot of fun to make, and who knows, maybe the people at Junior Hiptang will see it and come calling, and I can start making that sweet, sweet webinar money. I've seen enough people trade their passion for glory to know that it's not for me. This project isn't about me or furthering me. I'm asking for the money for this film because I believe in this film. Thank you for listening to me.